Call me. I built this fine house in 1905. Pretty good for a poor old country boy, don't you think? I practiced medicine here in Elizabeth City for some 58 years. From 1896 until 1954, I delivered 2,000 babies. 2,000 babies. Well, I may have even delivered some of you, or if not you, perhaps your parents. At one time, most babies were born at home. Very few born in the hospital. Any of you born at home? Oh, you were. Oh, well, you got along fine, didn't you? Certainly you did. When they were born at home, of course, it was necessary for the entire family to kind of step in and help with the birthing process. Now in these fancy hospitals, they have a birthing room, and they bring in the husband, the father, and they teach him how to help with the process, and they think that's something new, but I can tell you, no, we practiced that for many years. What goes around comes around, doesn't it? You know, I almost didn't make it to medical school. My family was poor. They didn't have a lot of money. And my last year at the University of Maryland, I didn't have the $300 necessary for that year's tuition. And one afternoon, just before school started, I was sitting on the porch, pondering my future, wondering what I was going to do, when up the walkway came one of Mama's friends. And she said, "What on earth are you doing here instead of at school?" And I said, "Well, we just don't have the tuition." She said, "How much?" I said, $300. She said, "You're going to school." And the next morning, I was on my way with her $300 in my pocket. Now, you talk about a charitable woman, there was one. Isn't it great when we can help with someone else's ambition in life? Oh, indeed. You know, when I first came here, I was so young, I was afraid folks wouldn't take me seriously. And so I grew this little beard, this little goatee, to make me look a little older. Don't you think it makes me look a little older? Well, of course it does. Well, I am a whole lot older right now. I tried to be reasonable in my charges to my patients because I wanted to reach out to everyone. I didn't want anyone to feel that they didn't have the opportunity for proper medical service, and so I thought I was reasonable. I'll give you an example. I had one family, the Roscoe Foreman family, 4 strapping boys, always getting into something, scrapes, bruises, smallpox. No, they didn't have smallpox. But whooping, coughing, all of those boyhood diseases. You know, I took care of that entire family for $75 a year. $75 a year. And at Christmas time, I threw in a 100-pound bag of buckwheat flour for a Christmas present. Let me ask you, any of you got any doctors that give you a present at Christmas time? No, and I don't think perhaps you will either. There was a very tragic and sad time here in Elizabeth City, about 1901, the Nell Cropsey murder case. I'd been coroner for about 3 years when one cold December night, colder than tonight, just a couple of days after Christmas, I was called to go down to the river to help retrieve a female body out of the river. Oh, what a beautiful young woman she was. We took her over to the Cropsey home, and I performed an autopsy in the barn behind the house. By that time, word had gotten out about the murder, and so folks were standing around, peeping through the cracks in the barn, the windows, the half-open door, and lurid curiosity. Oh, what a sad and tragic night that was. At the ensuing trial, I testified all that I could with the limited knowledge we had in those days, but I'll tell you something that I told my grandson Ike many a time. I don't believe Jim Wilcox was guilty of that crime. Now, I don't know who did it. Mind you, I have no idea, but I just don't think old Jim did it. Well, I know that you have to move along to another light, and so I must leave too. But as I leave you and go back to my dimension, may I say to you that I do certainly hope that I won't see any of you again for a long, long time. In other words, good health to you and a long life. Good evening.